The world's ending. At least, that's what everyone's saying.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is set to launch in early 2024 as a PlayStation 5 exclusive. While the game from developer Square Enix is technically the second part of a wider trilogy, it is being designed to appeal to all types of players. Those who were there for the iconic RPG the first time around in 1997, those who jumped into Final Fantasy VII Remake in 2020, and brand new players to the franchise who just want to see what all the fuss is about. With Final Fantasy VII Rebirth set to deliver a stunning adventure with some of the best visuals we have seen so far on the PlayStation 5, there is plenty of reasons to get excited. With the release just weeks away, we have decided to highlight 5 reasons you should jump into Rebirth upon release, highlighting the massive world you will be able to explore to some of the awesome characters you will meet and fight throughout it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a broader, wider game than its predecessor. You will be free to walk beyond the borders of Midgar and head out into the wider world, a dangerous land full of quests to complete, combat opportunities, and plenty of rare treasures to discover to imbue your party with more power and resources. While Rebirth isn't an open world in the traditional sense, it will give you the chance to freely explore expansive areas on foot or by chocobo, the lush Greenlands, the desolate city of Junon, and the eclectic Gold Saucer amusement park, to name but a few of the locations. A captivating journey awaits you in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and it begins as Cloud and his Avalanche cohorts begin to explore the world around them for answers to some of the universe's biggest unanswered questions. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth may be the second installment in a planned trilogy, but you should feel confident about jumping right in, even if you didn't play 2020's Final Fantasy VII Remake. Square Enix is building this game to be friendly to newcomers, so all you will need is a basic understanding of the world and the cast of eclectic heroes and villains who inhabit it to get started. The key character you need to understand is Cloud Strife, the main protagonist of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a former member of an elite warrior unit called Soldier, who is now running around as a mercenary with the Avalanche group in an effort to save the planet from pollution, fight the Shinra Electric Power Company, and better understand his nemesis, Sephiroth. It's worth remembering that Square Enix is making sweeping changes to the core Final Fantasy VII story, meaning that even if you played the original game back in 1997, this new experience will still be full of surprises. That's why you will want to pay close attention to other key characters who weave in and out of the story. Aerith Gainsborough and Zack Fair in particular, the two deeply intertwined with Cloud's mysterious, torturous past. These characters will be joined by a host of other playable and non-playable party members to help furnish the adventure and bring new dimensions to combat encounters. Now, if you know anything about Final Fantasy VII, you will be familiar with Sephiroth already, one of the most iconic villains in video game history, best remembered for his dazzling hair, heart-wrenching monologues, and sublime swordsmanship. The character quickly established himself as one the entire Final Fantasy fanbase loves to hate. If you are coming into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth fresh, all you need to know is that you're in for one hell of a good time. Sephiroth has deep historical ties to key characters like Cloud Strife and Zack Fair, a gifted soldier who was subjected to terrible experiments by the Shinra Corporation, circumstances which helped cultivate delusions of godhood and absolute annihilation. The original Final Fantasy VII is credited with helping to popularize the JRPG in Western markets back in 1997, owing to its beloved characters and deeply strategic turn-based combat systems. For Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Square Enix has sought to update this aspect of play, delivering a fast, frenetic battle system which highlights the power of the PlayStation 5. Rebirth dutifully draws from the tactical depth of the original game, infusing it with the sensibilities of modern action games to create some decisive decision making. Each party member is rewarded for their defensive and offensive acumen, eventually earning the ability to unleash uniquely devastating limit break attacks, which dazzle and delight. Your assaults against the weird and wonderful foes inhabiting the world can also be buoyed by synergy abilities. Party members can team up in combat to activate special abilities with an array of useful benefits, from damage dealing to essential support. With a wide cast of characters to draw into your party throughout the adventure, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth rewards experimentation to find the best pairing of heroes for any given situation or encounter. Summons are set to be a real highlight of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Powerful materia, which unlocks truly unnatural power once unleashed upon a battlefield. As spectacular in combat as they are spellbinding to witness in action, summons have the ability to completely change the composition of any battle you find yourself in. If you played last year's Final Fantasy XVI, the summons were presented as icons, but Rebirth is set to show a more refined selection of monstrous abilities and attacks. If you want to get a better sense of how the summons work and impact combat, you should go ahead and check out the Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth Twin Pack, a collection which will not only help you get caught up with the core story and events, but will also grant you a unique summoning materia for the Moogle Trio. Sounds pretty good, eh, Kupo?
When worlds merge, I'm waiting, Cloud.